What is up, Raffleators? Welcome back to my channel. We are back on the East Bank. Actually, this is the East Coast Bypass Road. And we're looking west towards the Eccles interchange. All those German flags could be misleading. We are not in Germany. For those of you who are in Europe, this is not a highway in Germany. This is in fact Georgetown, Guyana in South America. And the German flags are here to celebrate the large influx of Germans into the country over the last 5 years or so, since the discovery of oil and gas here in Guyana. So we're celebrating Germans in Guyana. I'm kidding, guys. That's the flag of the PPP, the most corrupt political party that has been running the government for the last 5 years in Guyana, and that is now being challenged at the polls. Perseverance. This is a new sign. We're entering Perseverance. The reason why we're back in this neck of the woods is because we want to see what's happening here at the new government office complex site. So, government of Guyana is building some multi-story office complex buildings. The building with the village we just left is called Henry. So this is the new East Coast Bypass Road from Ogle to Eccles, and we're at the Eccles end, and that village is called Henry, and we're now in Perseverance. And apparently these names, I don't know if they were invented or if they actually existed before. The names of these places, like Perseverance and Henry, are new to me. So the government is building these new office buildings. It's an office complex, 4 11-story buildings at this building site, this construction site. And we're just here to see what has happened since the last time. I think we were here about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and none of the construction had yet come out of the ground. But now, in other words, they were still working on foundations. Now, as you can see, the frame of the buildings are going up. So that's the frame of one of these 11-story buildings here at Perseverance. And they're working on the outside here. Apparently they're going to be building another roadway. What they used to call this in North America is a slip road or a service road. So it seems as if they're building a service road parallel to this East Coast Bypass Road. And that service road probably should run all the way back to the dump site. And yes, guys, this is what is happening since the last time we were here. Apparently some changes have been made. Morning.
Morning.
11 stories, right? 11 stories, the buildings.
11?
How tall is the buildings? Those buildings are 11-story buildings, right?
Yeah.
4 of them.
You fly yesterday one?
No, not me. Yeah, I just here today. So yes, guys, these guys are building an 11-story, 4 11-story buildings here at Perseverance. You can see it's the Government of Guyana Ministry of Works construction of government office complex design and build. The contractor is Carbon Green Building Inc. and the cost is 15.874 billion Guyana dollars. and the duration is 913 days, which is about what, a little under 2.5 years, maybe about 2.5, 3 years. So guys, this is what's happening. The construction of, I think, one or more, two of the office towers. You can see the frames of two sets of buildings. Two sets of office towers are beginning to go up here. Two sets of these office towers are going up. Perseverance. And so the buildings have now come out of the foundation. They've already built the foundations. Let's see, I think I can see a third. So in the distance, that is a third frame is now peeking up over the fence. So I can see 3 of the 4 buildings. Right, this is a second frame, and you can see the cranes there. Those cranes. And this is the third frame. So it seems as if they're going to be constructing these buildings in parallel together rather than one at a time, which is good because you get to see the entire complex rise out of the ground. And it seems as if they're actually going to be arranged linearly. I thought they were going to be grouped together, these 4 buildings, so they're going to be like a group of buildings at the 4 corners of a square, but apparently they're going to be arranged linearly along the ground. That's also interesting. Now this road is now about 2 months old. They've opened this road officially, I think yesterday or the day before, sometime in last week. This East Coast Bypass Road was officially open, and it's now a preferred way to get to Ogo from the East Bank. So this is what is going on here at Perseverance, here on the East Bank. I don't know if you can call this the East Bank anymore because we're moving further away from the bank and towards the coast. But yes, guys, this is what is happening with the constructions of these new office towers. Now, what we can see above the fence here is the first floor. In other words, the ground floor of these buildings is hidden by the fence, by this large red fence. And so what we can see now peeking up above the fence is the first floor of these buildings, and it seems as if they've made enough progress so that you can see the first floor of 3 of these buildings. So this is one of the office towers. One seems like it's the westernmost. This is the second office tower. You can see 2 large cranes in position over that second building. That's the first floor of the second office tower. And then there's a wide space, a wide gap. And way over there in the distance, that's the first floor of the third office tower. There's a fourth building going up, but of course it's not yet available for us to see. I suppose that the foundation is probably built, and the next time we come around here we'll be able to see it. But that's the current state of things, guys, here in Perseverance on the East Bank, East Coast Bypass Road. Now, elections are in a couple of days. Actually, not a couple, but Today's the 25th of August. So 6 days from now, 7 days from now, on the 1st of September, is the national elections in Guyana. People have asked me, why are there these flags, German flags? It is, in fact, the tradition here in Guyana for the parties to fly their colors, to put flags up, their colors, all around the neighborhoods of the places where they campaign. It's different in the US, for example, where people put lawn posters on their lawns, or put, posters of candidates out in public, stick them onto surfaces. In Guyana, you don't have posters of candidates. What you have is flags. It's a lot more like gang culture in Southern California, where the Bloods have their reds and the Crips have their blacks and so on. So it's more like flying gang colors, and so there's always a race to paper or cover the neighborhoods around the country with these flags. And that's a tradition around election time. It's a silly season. People behave really badly, and they've had to block a lot of people on this channel, Guyanese, mostly Guyanese, because of the bad behavior that they bring onto this channel. A lot of it is irrational and just annoying, totally unhinged, and stuff that makes no sense. But you can't really reason. Politics is like religion. You can't really reason with people. You can't have an intellectual discussion. So what you have to do is to block people when they don't, when they mess up the vibe. They cause the experience on this channel to be unpleasant. So, but it's actually quite relaxing and rejuvenating for me to block people. I didn't think I would have so much fun doing it, because it seems the algorithm is selecting the wrong people for this channel. Like I always say, this is a channel for intelligent people, and the algorithm keeps sending this channel to some of the least intelligent people, and I have to block them. In other words, I have to come in and do what the algorithm is supposed to do. The algorithm of 8 billion people on this planet, the algorithm seems to be constantly selecting the wrong people and not expanding the audience. And for that reason, I have to step in and block a lot of irrational people during this election cycle, which is a good thing, because it lets me see who the followers on this channel really are. They don't really contribute anything to the channel, and certainly don't contribute anything financially to me, so it's a pleasure to block them. And so yeah, that's the situation with the elections in Guyana. Hopefully in another week or so it will be passed, and we will not have to deal with this intrusion anymore, and by then of course we'll have gotten rid of all of the unpleasant people. Yes guys, this is where we are. In fact, that mountain you see in the distance, that's the landfill in Guyana. That's the traditional place to dump trash here in Georgetown. It's called the Hags Bosch landfill. But we also have a problem with a culture of dumping trash in the streets. And so I was pointing out earlier today that if you walk along the streets or along the seawall in Guyana, you're gonna see trash, piles of trash everywhere. This is a cultural thing. And for some strange reason, it doesn't seem to be changing even as the country gets richer. Right? We become a wealthy country because of oil and gas and because of the great oil contract with ExxonMobil. Brilliant oil contract we've managed to sign with ExxonMobil. The country has become a rich country, but the bad habit of dumping trash everywhere is continuing. And I honestly don't know how to solve that problem. So for those of you who are following this and who've lived elsewhere, I'd be quite open to suggestions how to tackle the bad habit in this culture of dumping trash. And the reason that comes to mind is not only because I'm passing the landfill here, which is the official dump site for trash, but because as I walked along this road to get to where I am, I noticed that these canals on the side of the road are now filled with piles of trash. And it's something that has to change, because not only is it dangerous, this is one of the garbage trucks returning from a landfill. So that's where they dump the garbage. And that's one of the private garbage trucks. Yes, guys, that's the issue we're dealing with. This is the East Coast Bypass Road. It's now one of the busiest roads in the country. And it's a road along which the new building government office complex is going to be located. This road around the dump site, the Hags Bush dump site, is what is called a service road, and in fact that is the kind of service road that I was referring to a few minutes ago when I talked about the road that's being built outside of the office complex as a service road. Yes, guys, but this is what is happening here. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world, that people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world. And if you have suggestions for how we might deal with the culture of dumping trash in the streets, leave them also in the comments below, because apparently we're out of ideas here in Guyana. I'm heading over to the new bridge, the new Demerara River Bridge. I'm going to show you what's happening since the last time we were here, about 2 weeks ago. What is happening with the entrance to the bridge, to the access road. So stay tuned. Later!